Greetings, I'm Linus.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
All right.
All right. So we're thinking we're just gonna try changing the boys in the background all the time because why not?
I hate being ignored.
He doesn't like it at all. Okay,
I'm
well,
kidding.
you know what?
I'm gonna go that way. Bill, your plate may have an appetizing aroma, but it doesn't make it food. Stop eating the left door's cat, please. So here's
right.
left door's cat.
The
What's
left
that?
doors, the what who's?
The
So
what?
we have to. Okay, so how do we like that? Is the best happy face or not?
I think that's the best happy face.
Yeah. Okay. So like, cause I haven't seen one better than like bouncing up and down happiness.
Right?
All right. So we good?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
why
let's
not?
do
We
it.
gotta hit all the hearts. Let's hit all the hearts.
We're gonna catch the hearts. All right, everybody. We're gonna actually do some story on this game because we've heard there is quite a bit of story, and we've had none of it because we've just been playing with chippies and trying to figure out like all the gachas and all the stores and all the everything. There are a lot of components to this booger, like so many. And then if they glow, we tap them too, right?
Yeah.
Oh well. Oh, we countered. Well, that's cool. What does a freaking wolf do?
I don't know.
Yay!
We win!
It's money! Choo-choo. The little
Choo.
one in the headphones just got the face of like, yes, of course.
Ah.
He's just like, of course, it's fine. Ha.
Me.
All right, so we'll take our rewards. AP fully recovered.
Lordy.
I don't even know what the action
Action points.
Oh my
we have
god.
so many.
Is it going to be a different surprise guest? Let's find out. The
It
little wolves are
Possibly
adorable.
will be? I don't know.
It's going to be a loaded guest, but we got like 3 different
Oh, no, it's him.
It's the same one. Every time it's freaking Mammon. Going, hey, did you see that?
Just to slap his hands.
I'm totally awesome, right?
Yeah!
I am awesome. Yay! He's
All
so
right.
happy.
Well, apparently we were told that we could just feed him, and you really just sort of, like, it's not a huge deal. So ramen is apparently his favorite, so let's just do the noodles.
Oh, okay.
Mammon's favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say, so nobody else eats it, but I was just like, this idea that you just shove it gently in their face.
Here, eat
Like-
it, my child. Blah, blah, blah.
Like-
They eat through their nostrils.
Like
some
or
of them.
something, or just absorbs to the front of their face as you gently push it forward. They eat the whole thing, the cup and everything. For real? You got that for me? Don't you got anything else? Yeah, we're gonna
have
pet your
pets.
fluffy hair. That's what we're gonna do. What's up with you?
Why are they all... Okay,
Even if you praise me, I ain't got nothing for you. Yeah, why are they all so grumpy?
my question is, why are they all tsundere?
Like every one of them, we know we're supposed to like you, but ew, I'm gonna be mean to you.
I'm also like, that is actually really frustrating. In terms
Every
of
one
going,
of them is the identical archetype. Oh, he did give us a gift.
Yeah, it seems
Because
like-
we gave him a gift. That seems to
Right.
be it. Be grateful and take it. Huh?
Take
Just do
it.
it. Get the damn gift. It's a
yeah.
feather. You got raven. So there.
Whatever
Uh-oh,
that is.
it's already this late. Can I go to your room later? My bed is cold. You know what? I got short-sheeted the other day. God, you probably make your own bed, right? Don't you domestic types do that? Isn't that a human thing? I don't know. Anyway, let's go. Let's find out what the
Man's
story
just going,
is like.
what are you talking about?
Man,
I retired.
I do make my own bed. It's true.
That's very true.
You can now receive reward to do. Okay, that's cool. All right, story. Here we go. Do we get to finally meet Belphegor? Like, who hasn't existed?
Leviathan
Avatar.
of envy.
We're back in the entryway. Okay, so this is you, my dude.
This is
and
a
you get to
sleepy
define
boy.
this boy. Is this the sleepy one?
This is supposed to be Sleepy Boy, yes.
But if he's the Avatar of Envy,
Oh, is he the Avatar? Of
that's what
envy?
you just read. The Avatar of Envy.
Oh, dang. I guess.
The headphones one is the sleepy one.
He's the otaku one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm like, there's so many siblings here, and they're not very distinct to me.
They're
I
not
can't
very
really-
distinctive. The temptation to just make him like massively nasally to distinguish him.
Hello, how about this? I vote for you to die, Mammon.
I feel like you're gonna have a hard time being very emotive with that, but
How do you know? I could be
oh
sad.
my gosh, your like arms are long, my dudes.
Like,
Hi.
especially
Hi.
considering, like, how wide your shoulders are and how tiny your head is.
All
Your neck
right.
is huge. What is your anatomy?
Levi. Listen up, human. This here is Leviathan, the Avatar of Envy. He's the third oldest of us brothers. Like, yeah. since his name's sort of hard to say, you can just call him Levi. Okay, then, let's move on.
If you think Leviathan is hard to say, that's okay. I definitely do not. I have a character called Leviathan, so...
Right, that's what I was going to say. Maybe he pronounces it really differently
I'm like,
than we do.
maybe I should just, like, do Leviathan's voice for you, because
That
I kind
would
of have
be
one for him.
hilarious.
Hang on. Mammon, give me back my money. Then go crawl in a hole and die.
Die!
You should die.
You need to die. Just
You should
die. That's kind of hilarious. I kind of love it. Come on, I told you I'd get it to you. Just need a little more time, and you still want me to die even after I give it back? That's real harsh, Levi.
You need a little more time. How much more?
Enough for us to both button up our jackets, dude. Oh, sorry.
I don't need buttons, I only need your ass.
Look, I appreciate that you are a friggin' disaster and your tie's as bad as mine, but like, I pull it off better than you. Short jackets are all the rage. You're super edgy with your long trench.
Also, why do we all have alternating hair color and also skin tone? Good question, eh?
Yeah, well, you know, it's because we need to look diverse, even as we look similar. A little more, okay? A little more.
If you shaved us all bald, would we look the same?
Needs a little more. Okay, you know what? I've got more mouth than you, so there. Actually, we have different colored eyes. That's how you tell us apart.
Oh, word. I love silhouettes where I can see.
Right, and painted nails.
Right. You've been telling me that for the last 200 years, Mammon.
Yeah? Well, I still need some more, alright? Hey, no, it hasn't been 200 years. It's been 260. Get it right, Levi. At least two, and I've only been making excuses for 210.
Unbelievable. Seriously, Mammon, you're...
I'm what, scum? Is that what you're gonna say? Go ahead, say it. I dare ya.
You're a low life and a waste of space.
Yeah, well, just because you have better grammar than I do, you think you're all hoity-toity, huh? Hey, come on, that's even worse. You're saying I'm lower class? We all grew up in the same dorm.
So what does that say about you?
Huh?
Huh?
You associate with me.
Huh? Whatever, just give me back my money.
Yeah, sure, I'll just get it from men. Hey, man, do you have a few bucks? Demon bucks?
I needed to buy the Blu-ray box set of Journey to the Devildom, a tale of a little she-devil and her reluctant companion.
That
it's actually an
sounds
adaptation
hilarious.
of Momotaro. It just happened to have a cisgender swap in the beginning for the story.
It's very fascinating, I'm sure.
Or either that or it's a Journey to the West. So basically what we have is, Son Goku, and we have a bunch of other characters, and we just, it's very
Journey to the West would be hilarious.
If anybody's
That'd be
ever seen
great.
Overly Sarcastic Productions, they have a wonderful
ongoing
series of trying to tell the epic story
of Journey to the West.
Journey to the West. It's astounding.
They've done so much work in trying to summarize this 6 million word volume. It's not that bad, but it's a lot
huge.
of words.
It's thousands of pages long.
Well,
it's
ridiculous. it's like what is it, 16 volumes or something that are each thousands of pages long?
Yeah, it's
huge. It's ridiculous. It's a work, okay? It is a work.
The initial round of copies includes promotional tickets to the live event as a special bonus.
I've got no idea what you're even talking about. Levi, I don't watch that kind of tripe, but it doesn't matter because you're sensitive and I'm not because I don't even have any money to give you. How am I supposed to give you back money I don't have? Huh? I'm surprised that I just kind of pegged him right off.
So then you're telling me you refuse to pay me back?
Yeah, for now. Like I said, more time. What? You're looking for a fight? Is that it? We're gonna have to dance off, man. We're gonna have to dance off right now. My moves are killer and I will beat you. Man will support me and not you. So then you actually are a lowlife. Don't say anything, just watch and wait. Or defend Mammon.
Alright, so we're talking about a boomer mentality, and here I do not know how that would apply. What do you think? Because I'm actually a little...
What I know about that generation, and again, we're doing a stereotype boomer based on how we understand the stereotype.
Right.
So we're being as stereotypical as possible, which, maximum offense, but also maximum neutrality.
I'm also just a level of
What I understand is that you always pay your debts.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
That is the experience of going, it doesn't necessarily make you a low life, but you're unreliable, you're not a good, you don't have good moral value. If you don't pay your debts and stick to your commitments, You're not a good person.
Yeah, you're not a good person. Which I was about to say, so I want to say that one, but I was like, that's why I was kind of like, I would like never put it that way.
I feel like the spirit of what we would say is the center one, honestly, even though it sounds terrible.
I still don't think the spirit of it is there.
You could also be like, I'm not involved in this, so I'll just watch, which is also very boomer.
Oh, yes,
I'll let you play
this
out
is not
your
my
own
problem.
Drama.
Yeah.
I am not here to parent all of you.
Yeah, going like, I am too old for this, I'm done. I'm just gonna go, don't say anything, just watch and wait. Because I don't like the middle option, because it would be more like, you should be more responsible with your money, which should basically be that entitled, I'm gonna get in your face, get in your way kind of thing.
Or just being like, everyone should pay their debts kind of thing. Listen, human, you remember my advice from before about what to do when demons attack? Well, you're about to witness that for real. So, time for you to die. Because it's either you or me. And it ain't gonna be me. So I'm supposed to run?
Hold on. I thought your advice was either to run away or...
Pelt you in the head with my soul! Ping! My shiny soul!
It's like, take it, and you just rub it against your leg.
And then you shine it at ping! I thought you were just like, okay, there's the light source. I just shined it, shined it on my shirt real fast, like your glasses, that you shouldn't do that to your glasses. And then I just focus the light beam towards them, and they're like, I'm
melting!
Yes,
What a world! Whoa, damn it! Mammon, that ass, he ran off. Do you realize what just happened? Mammon used you as a distraction to get away from me. Or maybe I should say he used you as a sacrifice, because that sounds far more edgy.
And it makes him sound worse, so you know.
I'll admit that Mammon is one of the scummiest scumbags you'll ever meet. A total lowlife. And I still cannot come up with any other words or any other terminology, so I'm going to continually say these two words. Scumbag. Lowly lowlife.
You need to call him a fool if you want to be a true villain.
I am the truest of Disney villains. You foolish fool!
Mammon is a fool!
But still, that was pretty foolish of you for letting him use you like that, fool.
Are you being a fool now?
Oh, this is exactly what humans are. Hey, wait a second. Humans. Yes, that's it. Suddenly, I've got an idea. Listen, are you free right now? Of course you are. You've gotta be, right? You know what? Never mind. Either way, you're coming with me.
Boomer going, why don't you dress yourself properly?
Boomer, I'm so disappointed by the entirety of all y'all.
You guys have
these beautiful
uniforms.
Is Diavolo.
And you just ruined it.
And Lucifer.
Yeah, I was just saying.
I guess Asmodeus is actually pretty well put together.
I say there's levels of disarray that just sort of go on down the line.
It's a little weird.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was like,
froze.
We tapped and it just went away. I'm still looking at this entryway going, I'm feeling
I want
very...
them to be interesting, like, weird horses with huge, like, manes on the back.
Oh, that would be fun. I was just looking and thinking very like Edward Gorey or very like Morticia Addams kind of thing.
What happened?
Right.
Suddenly we're here.
How did we end up here?
I don't know. Here, go ahead before.
Hey, I suddenly remembered. I have some business I gotta hold on the screen for.
I have some business I gotta
take care of. So if you need something, just ask Levi. Oh, and just to make sure, don't go around telling stuff to Lucifer. You got that? No? Okay. Have we got that? I mean, I feel like we should just get grumpy back at him, but that's...
Yeah, I was about to say, Boomer thing being like, okay.
I will posture in your face, so I will posture back at you. I know my stuff.
I mean, like, the answer is no.
The answer is no. Stick to your guns. Yeah.
Yeah, fight me.
Fight me. I have, like, 50 years on you, bro. Yes. Okay, so now we go back.
I see.
And now what happens?
And now?
Now what do we do next?
Okay. Now we load.
Fluffy chicken nuggets. Every time, just imagine yourself in a nice, cool corridor in a beautiful cave where there's just fluffy little puffballs bouncing off your head.
Now again, this is not to say that you should go and deliberately try to knock yourself into bats, because bats still potentially carry diseases, and they might carry rabies, so you need to take care of yourself.
It can also be hard on them if a large mass suddenly gets in their way and they just hit it at full speed.
Right?
You're not as bouncy as the other bats are.
It's so true.
I say, but yes, take care of yourself. Don't be crazy or weird with wild animals. But again, you don't need to be afraid of bats, and don't panic.
Yep.
No.
Just treat them with respect.
Panicking.
They are wild animals. Be nice to them.
Be nice to everybody. So I'm like, we've got death this way, life that way, stay out of here, danger. But also the glowing path of gloriousness to the dripping moon. I love this implication that the moon is just creating a river in the middle by just oozing
Oozing?
continually down.
Honestly, I'm also like, and the moon is actually then like a fixture or a structure. It's not
Right?
necessarily a moon because there's a moon and then a moon.
Right.
It's a
It
money
isn't an
moon.
actual moon.
Look, it's a moon!
Oh, it's one of those fountains that just sucks the water up and drops it
Oh.
back down again and makes it look like that. It's just basically floating in the air and dropping water
It's
continually.
a golden, glorious river of moon
One of those
water.
recycling fountains.
Yeah,
I kind of
so
love it.
cool. I'm also like, that is incredibly aesthetic for
Like, wow.
Like, I know all the rest of their stuff is incredibly weirdly aesthetic, but like,
damn. I also love
that is some
clouds move.
dedication.
Okay, so we're super happy. Do we want to do that, like, recommended, so that's good?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
why
here
not?
we go. Bouncing Happy seems to be the top tier, so we'll just go for it.
Yep.
I don't even know what the glow sticks do at this point, and I'm afraid to use them
Well,
because I
remember,
might run out.
it adds like points.
Meaning
or
I don't know if they're temporary or not. If they can't,
They are
if
temporary.
Oh, okay. So then, okay,
Whatever
hearts
you-
and glowing is what we need. Look at the horns on these boogers. They're
Do it.
hilarious. We have so many hearts. We get this.
Gonna dance, dance,
Nobody's
dance.
glowing. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Everybody
whoa, whoa,
dance
friend.
now.
That
La,
was
la,
so
la,
many
la,
hearts,
la,
and you
la,
didn't
la.
get any of them.
Oh.
That was a whole line of like 15
Oh, I didn't see them because
hearts.
they were over there. I'm sorry. I got
Oh
your...
god, I'm just like so many hearts, and I couldn't get them all.
Oh no.
I
We
wish you
finished
could
it
just.
anyway.
I wish you could just swipe and get the hearts, but I don't know that you can. Maybe I'll try that next time.
Right.
Because that was a freaking straight line of hearts. Look at that, a new
Yeah.
record of goodness. And we got some goldfish, whatever those are for.
Everybody dance now.
Do 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 do. Why we have so much energy? We're gonna be able to do like 49 episodes in like 2 minutes. It'll be amazing. Be like, hello.
We really do. So the thing is, what we kept running into is going like every time we tried to start this up. Not only because the load times are such pain, so I apologize for bringing this up every time, but it's really noticeable. Obviously,
It is.
like, but it's also like we ran into so much story every
Some
single
sort
time.
of event or activity or
Every
like
time, just
exposition
about.
would just pop as soon as we opened it. And we actually opened it to like what seemingly is a random event. Super happy.
Yep.
And then we went, oh, we better capture this. But then it went away before we could. It was like it was
Right?
some pop up with Diavolo. And we're
Right.
like, we don't know what this is, but just when we thought it was safe to just open the game and do our dailies, we're like, nope, here's
Not
something else
allowed.
that loaded in.
I will pay attention more to your side of the screen then. I apologize. I was just mostly watching
It
my
was just
side.
so many hearts all at once. It was
Do it,
wild.
dance.
Like this. Yes, you can just trace them. You can trace them.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna trace them. Tap, tap. Oh, we didn't tap.
Yes.
Okay, the voices are super charming. They're very cute.
Yes.
Yeah, you all work
Woo.
together. Good job. Also, like, who does
Yes.
your haircuts, man? Like, wow.
They're all again. I'm like, why do none of them have? I want somebody to have long hair,
Right?
but that's
one
me.
person somewhere.
Somewhere.
Maybe one of the other human or one of the angels has long hair.
Maybe.
That would be great. Surprise guest. Can we get someone new this time?
I
Maybe.
mean, it might just be Mammon again,
Hey.
which is fine.
We got another background with like a
They're
sleeping
very-
bear.
Yep.
Like, I feel like these are like, sorry. Mwah! All points from Mammon! Yeah! Bow down to me! Bow down to me!
I'm a pet your head.
Oh, yeah, better not do. Hey!
This for
better
any-
not take my dialogue, or I won't talk to you anymore. That's my human! You got this.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm a little whoa.
Huh, it's fine.
I'm a pet, pet
Pet
your
your
head.
fluffy
Pet
head.
your head.
Knock it off, will ya? I'm feeling good today. I got you something. It's in a purple box, as always.
As always.
It's my cat in a box. It's my
It's my
cat in a box. It's my cat in a box.
It's my
You
cat.
can leave it up to the Mammon next time as well. I will help you out. See ya! My bed is still
Jana.
cold.
Jana Surdana.
Ta-da!
All
Okay,
right.
story it is.
More story. More story.
You can receive a reward in to-do.
Into
Every
doodle.
time, in to-do.
In
I still want
to-do.
to find out about that part-time job.
The tale of the seven lords.
So
of
seven
havoc.
lords.
Of
Okay,
havoc.
okay, but the seven lords all share one tail.
Oh dear.
Instead of, having many tails, they all have one tail.
They'll have one tail. And this is the story of Cottontail Peter Rabbit.
Of them being conjoined by a tail. And they're all grumping at each other. Not conjoined at the hip, it's conjoined at the tail.
Conjoined at the tail.
They have a conjoined tail. You'd think
No.
you'd be able to separate it, but they're very attached to each other.
Right? Even though they always
Ha.
say that they dislike each
Ha.
other. What if they're just like, a seven-headed King Ghidorah sort of experience?
Oh, yes, there
And
we
they're
go.
all like, oh, we're all separate thing, but we're actually not. We're all a part of the same
all of
being.
us the same being.
We just
We're
like to pretend.
We just all have like heads and little hands to go with our heads, and the
Uh-huh.
rest it's all one body and tail.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
But we all have different personalities,
Right.
but,
If you don't know King Ghidorah, it's from Godzilla King of Monsters, and Ghidorah in general is from the Godzilla franchise series.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to say the history of Godzilla because there's a lot more than just a franchise there.
Oh God,
there's so much
the different
cultural
eras.
weight and the
Yeah.
different eras, and the incredible suit that was Godzilla. Oh, that's jellyfish.
Oh, that's cool. What's that now? You want to know why I looked around to see if anyone was watching before I closed the door?
So this is the only way to get to the next piece.
Why do you think I did it? Isn't it obvious? Imagine what would happen if someone saw in me inviting you into my room. A human who doesn't even look like an otaku.
He's an otaku, but he's not.
But
sloth.
a normie. You know what people would say, right? I'm also like, that's the room of an otaku.
I'm like, also, I'm just
my
like,
God, you have floating freaking jellyfish in your room.
I mean, he's literally under a pool. Like, we
I
are
know.
in the water.
I am a fan.
I'm like,
Dude,
the bathtub in the center of the
serious
room, though.
commitment.
And then also you have your technology underwater with the gamer
He's
set
also
up over
got
there.
all of his little figure.
Oh my gosh, he has so many
You are
waifus.
I'm
Look
also
at all the
like-
waifus on top of the structures on the
All right.
computer and stuff.
I hate to be that person. I do not like the statues in the anime community at
Also,
all.
the otaku cabinet of the anime, like, pictures.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
got the girls in the swimsuits and stuff like that. Like, wow,
oh,
damn.
yeah.
This reminds me of, what's his name? That we were, like, we saw some of his vines. And he's a super...
God! I
Is
don't remember
he-
his name. It's fine.
Is he Russian?
He's
Or
German. He's German.
German,
There's
sorry.
a German.
Like he was Slavic or something?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
There's a guy who's a German fan. He's got some
Otaku.
notoriety, right, as being an extremely popular hentai enthusiast, which is, again, not to shame on anybody who likes that, because that's what it is. But it's also just going, like, I find it to be interesting because, like, wow.
And for me, I'm just like, a couple of his vines are freaking hilarious.
They're super funny, but I'm
Alright,
also just
anyway.
like,
All right, are you worried that people might gossip? Are you an otaku?
Boomer,
Yes.
what's an otaku?
Actually, I'm an otaku too. Yeah, he wouldn't know that. So
Yeah, I'm
probably
like-
it's only, our character would only really know the top one, period. And I love the fact that he's like, you're such a normie. And you're like, I don't know how you know what a normie is, but I am it. I am a boomer. I am a normie.
Of course I'm normal.
I'm totally
I'm
normal.
totally normal. Yeah,
Do you think people might gossip if I'm in your room with you when all of you are supposed to want to marry me for power?
I don't, right? I'm going, well, this sounds familiar.
It sounds like a power play.
Of course not! That's crazy! There's room in my heart for only one person, and she's animated.
Oh my
I'll
god.
always stay faithful to my dear sweet Ri-chan. Always.
I told you, waifus all across the desk and everything.
So again, this thing of being like, I don't know how to
fictional
interact
wife.
with stuff like this because, okay, so I have always liked anime over the years, but what I have come to realize as I've gotten older is a level of also going, what people find to be valuable in anime is never what I found to be valuable in anime.
Ditto! Like every time I
dang.
tried to join any of the fandom for part of what I cared about in a series or with a character or anything, nobody else was talking about it. Like when the Battle Angel Alita movie finally came out, and if you listen to our stuff, you will find that I mentioned Battle Angel Alita frequently because it was one of the few stories that is actually, something public enough to be relatable to people and that was really close to me, my heart, if you will.
Right.
When I encountered the fandom in reference to the movie, I was so pissed off because I was like, that is not what I cared about
At all.
And what was really important to me was really the grand scope of Alita's coming of age journey and understanding the gigantic question of what is it that makes us human, etc., etc. And everybody else is just like, the battles and the gore. And I'm like, really?
That's
It's a
all you care
horror
about?
manga. One, it's not a horror manga at all. Two, it's just a gore fest. No, it's not. Like for me, it was always like a heavy sci-fi in the traditional sense of sci-fi of breaking down again that question of if you take something to its logical extreme, what happens to society?
Right.
Anyway, so we both have troubles relating to what the average fandom that we've encountered seems to be, and waifus are part of that of going, we don't get it.
I really don't. Why would people gossip? I mean, me and some non-otaku, some normie, and not only that, a three-dimensional one from the real world? It's insane, that's what it is. I'm also like, the level of potential shaming here bothers me too. So one of the things of why I've also been very uninterested in a lot of this is because the culture around it, it's not necessarily, I want to say that it's very cringy, but it's also going like, there seems to be this thing of basically because people get so hyper aggressive about it, it basically causes the reaction back to it, where people who identify as otaku try to push down harder in being more aggressively otaku to just basically
Justify
stick
themselves?
it to the people who are going after them.
Okay, that
and
makes
I'm
sense.
like,
Anyway, this is,
I don't-
we've talked about stereotypes in a lot of our videos, and this feels like an unfriendly stereotype.
this does, and I'm not saying that it doesn't also happen in real life, because
Also
I've also
going,
seen
else
seen videos, but that doesn't mean anything because
so
that could be a
hard?
performance.
Who else is so freaking hard into anime, but their aesthetic is deep sea?
I know!
And I don't say deep sea, I say like coral reef mid sea, perhaps. That one kind of thing.
I mean,
Going,
it would be cool as
what?
hell.
How do you combine those two? And why aren't all your waifus aquatic?
Right?
All right, the book case is full of thick hardcover
books as big as encyclopedias.
Those are the expensive gatherums.
The Tale of the Seven Lords, the Lord of Shadow awakens. What is it, human? What are you looking at? Wait, that looks like the Tale of the Seven Lords. Are you a fan of that too?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of
We
it.
have
A
definitely never-
boomer. It was the closest thing nearby, unfortunately.
Right? I was just looking at your bookshelf. Yeah.
Like,
I
genuine.
do like that they imply here that you get to choose who you are as you go along.
Right.
That you're defining your backstory. So it's feeling like the game is starting to tell you that when you choose choices, you are defining who you are as you go.
Right?
So that's helpful to know what's going on.
I think also the other reason sometimes that I get grumpy about this is because both of us kind of grew up around the time where anime started becoming more popular and much
America.
bigger and in the US. And so one of the big attitude things that always bothered me about the anime community was a lot of like snobbery.
Yes.
Like a level
there was a lot of gatekeeping, and there was a lot of like nerd cred checking you. Do you know this? Do you know that thing? Do you know the other thing? Especially around like when I got introduced to like Evangelion, or when I got introduced to Cowboy Bebop, there was a lot of going, well, do you know this thing?
Right.
Well, do you understand that? You do know that that's Shinji's mom, right? Trying not to do too many spoilers, but you know. And it was just, there was a lot of aggression of going, same like sort of like people reading comic books and stuff, and if you're not
in
the
the
right
crowd,
kind of
yeah.
nerd.
It felt honestly a lot also like, unfortunately to me, it felt like some of the issues around Gamergate of going like, we're trying to basically prove why you should be here. Now both of us have had basically probably a stronger history with that simply because, so one, Liza identifies as a woman and uses she, her, and I myself over the years basically shifted away from that and also basically always was very uncomfortable with it, even just growing up.
So I will out me. I am cisgender. Yes,
Yeah,
I agree. I would say I don't have a problem with what I was labeled with at birth, even though I have done many iterations of the performative of woman or female over my lifetime.
Right?
Yes.
And I myself definitely, though I was assigned female at birth, I've never enjoyed it. At all. It's caused a lot of problems in my life for my own personal dysphoria and whatever else, but we're not going to go into that because, you know, sometimes that makes people uncomfortable, so let's not.
So we're here to just play an anime game. Welcome. Nice to meet
Hi!
you. Anyway,
but the
both
thing
of us had trouble with fandoms.
Right, well, but especially in the regards to the fact that we might have seen some of the more basically aggressively, what I would call sexist sides of it. Because you're going, a lot of women, basically, number one, were always taught to be highly competitive with each other. Even girls, right, at the time when we were much younger, would be very nasty to each other sometimes of going, are you good enough? Now, the funny thing was, I got that out of Pokemon. So I was around when Pokemon hit it off in the 90s, all right? And it was wild because when the first games came out for the Game Boy, I got nerd credit on the game, like in fourth grade. I got nerd slapped, basically, of where they're like, you didn't actually, because I came in one day afterwards and I had beaten the Elite Four. It was the first time I'd ever beaten them, and I immediately got a quiz from all the other guys in my class where they were all like, well, do you remember who the very first Pokemon that Lance uses against you is? And I stared at him because I'm like, that's the thing you care about? And I didn't remember for a couple of seconds. And one of them leans over to the others, and this is exactly what happened, and they whispered something that I could not hear, couldn't read their lips, couldn't do anything, because he had his hand in front of his mouth, and he smirked and pulled away from his friend. They stared back at me, and I thought about it, I went, oh yeah, it was Gyarados. So this was the original Red and Blue games when they came out in the US, and they got so angry at me going, you heard what I said, and I said, no I didn't.
Yeah, well,
and basically they sort of like wouldn't talk to me and wouldn't interact with me because they assumed that basically I was lying and that I was a cheater and that it was ridiculous. So and I ran into people who did that all the time.
I didn't have that experience, but I was homeschooled from 5th grade on up.
Right.
And so I was allowed to be the height of the introvert that I was in so many ways. Now, my mom worked really hard to get me into social gatherings, and my dad sent me to summer school. My parents were highly divorced through all of my childhood, so living in different states and everything. And so I really was just like, as much as my mom tried, I am at my heart a strong introvert. Like, I'm not really an ambivert. I just get very professional when I'm dealing with people.
Right.
So, like, that kind of thing. Anyway, and so it's like, I didn't get the same amount of stuff, but the very little that I did get, there was a lot of, like, checking in, or I heard it from some of my friends in that way of going, you have to prove things.
Right. Anyway, sorry, with weird tangent, let's keep going. All right. Excuse me? You don't know TSL? And how can you call yourself a human? Just how all humans are otaku. So each one of these guys literally did
Has
look
a
into
different idea.
a sphere and went, I see this this is the aspect of human life.
Yep, one
Just how-
tiny little piece, and that is what the good humans are.
That's super funny.
That's great.
Just how clueless are you? How could you not know? Just the fact that you don't know TSL alone is proof that you've been wasting your life. So I'm going to do you a favor and teach you about TSL. Make sure you pay attention.
He's going to give us all this information.
The Tale of the Seven Lords, otherwise known as TSL, is a series of fantasy novels written by Christopher Pugat. Pugat, a heroic epic spanning 138 volumes, and it's the most widely read fantasy series in the world. There are even theatrical versions, an animated series, and feature films, too. It's been translated into a total of 182 different languages.
Is this actual facts, or is this made up facts?
I think it's totally made up. The 1990s theatrical disaster was the version was a total disaster, owing to the fact that they added several characters that were not present in the original manuscript. At the time, I was like, this producer totally needs to crawl into a hole and die, but then the 2015 version came out, and it was amazing! Better than amazing! If you ask me, it showed that needlessly cramming in a female lead in there alongside Henry was a bad idea. That's not what he needs. What he needs is a friend who really understands him. The 2015 version proved that.
Much to unpack here, but we're getting there.
Whoa,
so
that's a lot.
Like, of going, I am gonna also, like, let me also have some sexist themes which go along with it. Again, I'm getting stereotype that is a harmful stereotype.
Yes.
And going, we are playing a stereotype, but we're trying to do it in good fun. Again, in our literary analysis of games.
Granted, what we might be assuming, though, is that for him going, what he needed was a friend, and what you introduced was an unnecessary romantic partner. Which might be a good critique of going, you went too far.
Again, you could take this in two different ways. One, going, that's a sexist statement of going, the person who was there who was a woman could not be seen as anything but a romantic partner by
the heterosexual fandom took over basically.
By him.
Yeah.
Even if the director didn't write them as anything other than like a Pacific Rim kind of partner, they go, clearly that's a woman, doesn't understand them, and the only reason they're there is for a relationship possibility.
Right.
Or you get the other experience of going, they artificially wedged them into a relationship for no reason when the only thing that would have added was friends go save the world kind of thing.
Right?
So again, there's a lot of ways to look at this.
Anyway, also, the most vital element of the story is that each of the seven lords are so unique. They're all so interesting in their own particular way. It's not like it's us in any way, and I completely missed that previous sentence. Why did you do that?
That's what
makes TSL so great.
That's why.
Okay.
Because I thought it was only two. That's what made it was three words.
Let me tap my
I thought you were there. Sorry.
No.
Anyway, so it's so great because it was made better. Are you sure? Oh God, he's just
the
like,
lords are all
emotional.
brothers. Oh God, the oldest is called the Lord of Corruption. He doesn't come across as being so bad at first, but he's always plotting and planning in secret. The second oldest is the Lord of Fools, a scumbag who will do anything for money.
It's the story of them.
It's
the story of them. He's like, my favorite story is the story of us. You guys, you brothers, you love each other.
You
it's
really
fine.
do, and
you're
also
super into each other. All you pay attention to is each other.
So you're all boomers?
Maybe?
Like, we love hearing about ourselves, which is actually one of the biggest criticisms.
We just keep it in the family, and we focus on what, we take care of our own. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, so in this way, this also might be a sign to me that there's actually kind of poor world building for me. Because it's like, you don't have any interest basically outside of your family. Because you only have interest in being an otaku only in reference to being distinct enough, but also still obsessive about this thing that still has to do everything with your family.
If this is your most important thing that you're obsessed over, there aren't a lot of women in your family, dude. Who's your waifu?
Right? Lord Full Scum will do anything for money. The third oldest is called the Lord of Shadow, a brooding recluse. The fourth oldest is known as the Lord of Masks. He masquerades as a high-status, upstanding member of society, but underneath it all, he's an inhumane monster. The fifth oldest, the Lord of Lechery, only ever thinks of sex. The sixth oldest is the Lord of the Flies, and he only ever thinks of food. Then there's the seventh oldest, called the Lord of Emptiness. He's weird. You never know what's running through his head. It seems like most people like the oldest lord, the Lord of Corruption, the best. Everyone always talks about how great he is, But not me. I like the Third Lord way more.
The Third Lord.
Of course.
It's the Third Lord. It's not a nerd lord, it's the Third Lord. Sorry.
Yeah, right? Of course, I like Henry too. He's the protagonist. He's almost as great as the Third Lord. He allows me to have self-insert male empowerment fantasy, whatever that is, because I don't actually know because I'm a demon.
Because I don't have human standards of things, we hope.
The Second Lord is a total scum and a hopeless degenerate that leads a life of extravagance and indulgence. He's always causing trouble for the Third Lord. He's got these magical pigs that can give birth to solid gold piglets, and he treasures them above all else. So Henry goes and talks to the pigs. Using his wit and powers of persuasion, he convinces them to leave with him. Then he leads every last one of them away and presents them to the Third Lord as a gift. I mean, wow! I mean, they're such good friends! You can almost feel it. It's enough to make you cry!
I'm also just like, so he's
And
the
then
Pied Piper of pigs instead of Hamlet? I'm just like, this is so much exposition in one little dump. Like, wow, this guy just talks like crazy. Imagine meeting this guy, and he is like someone who's just learned how to play Magic the Gathering, or who's just found out that D&D exists, and he's just on and on and on and on and on and on.
I want to apologize to my friend, Rashawn Nieto, because, so one of the first times that I ever had them over at my house.
Oh dear.
We talked about roleplay stuff, and I mean, I talked about roleplay stuff for like 7 hours straight.
You just went
I
off.
am not even
You
kidding.
became him.
I became this person.
You
so
were
what?
him.
I feel it.
Okay.
I also feel it.
I'm sorry, that was you. I'm also just like, who the hell are your parents, dudes, that had 7 boys, and you all are this distinctive? Like, what kind of
Or did you come out of the void? What are we talking about?
Do you have parents? Again,
right?
did you sprout out of the ground simultaneously? We talked about this, them sort of budding or what have you. Going, if you do have parents, God, I want to meet them because wow,
they must be characters. Oh, and then there's that one really awesome moment when the two of them realize they both like and respect each other, and they high five. I just love that. I feel like this is also shading.
2 guys in a hot tub,
5 feet apart because they're not gay.
High five! Woo!
I just love that part, you know? I wish I could have a moment like that. I wish I could be like the Third Lord. I may be a recluse like him, but we're totally different because he's got an amazing friend like Henry. Check it out.
You are lonely.
See that goldfish in the tank there, fish tank there? He's actually named Henry. I love TSL so much that this is my fish. It's actually a jellyfish. There's the boomer guy going.
He's like,
man's
you
just
see
like,
my goldfish? You're like, that's a jellyfish.
that's a jellyfish. That's
my goldfish.
That's a Portuguese man of war.
Damn.
Like, damn, dude.
Whoa.
He's actually named Henry. I love TSL so much that I couldn't help naming him after the main character. But I really can't high-five a goldfish,
And
can
definitely
I?
not a man of war either. Bad idea. Do not high-five them.
Right? The original author of TSL, Christopher Poigot, he's actually a human, you know. That's why I'm so jealous of you guys. Humans are so lucky. You've got subscription services that let you watch your favorite anime anytime.
It's fine.
I'm fine.
You can do this.
Well,
I know, it's timely.
Suddenly we're doing advertisements and it's bothering me. Okay,
fine.
you can go to Akibara whenever you want to. Why do only you guys get to experience all the good stuff? I mean, humans' whole concept of pleasure originally came from us demons, you know? We gave it to you. So why can't we have a little of that back now, huh? I want to be able to go to a
Japanese maid cafe. And see brothers there and have brotherly love and brotherly connection and best friends bros go. I want to enjoy a maid cafe with my best friend like a bro.
Leviathan, you sound vaguely like, I can't decide if you're an incel or like, and I don't necessarily want to say that this is where I want to go because the stereotype is unfortunate and it is also really harmful, but like, because the idea of going, well, you're a closeted gay man who is so basically obsessed with finding an ideal woman, but you can't ever find what would be acceptable for you.
Because you're only looking for basically a stereotype of what the woman should be, and you're into dudes because all of your friendship, all of your interests, all of your connections come from men.
Right?
And you're going, but the relationship comes from the women, and I need to figure out how to get it. And going, but you've already got the relationship. You just don't have the other piece that you think, you know,
is
only exists over there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, because
Right.
it also could mean they could be very dangerous too.
Yes.
So I want to be able to go to a Japanese maid cafe too. I want to hear the maids welcome me as if I'm the master of the house.
To have them draw.
To have them draw ketchup hearts on my fried rice omelet, to experience the magic of it all. I want to cosplay as Henry and then go and stand in the center of Akihabara. Or maybe that one building in Tokyo that's shaped like upside-down triangles. And once I'm there, I'm going to perform Henry's super powerful signature finishing move for all to see and say the incantation that goes with it. I just want to shout it at the top of my lungs. Actually, you know what? I want to be Henry.
You know what you need? You need to go to an anime convention, and you would have all kinds of friends if you played your character well. It's fine.
I'm like, I would say sarcastically for a boomerang going, and someday you will be Henry, but I don't think that's where that's going.
No, I don't think so. I'm afraid that's not really possible if you're down to earth. Right, screw all the normies. Who needs them? I feel like it's the middle one, more like.
I like the middle one is the
It's
one I
just
was
not possible to turn into somebody else. Sure, you can be anything, do anything, but not be someone else.
I know that, but still I'm free to fantasize about whatever I want now, aren't I? Guess I've done a little bit too much talking. The road hurts!
That was a lot of talking, my dude. That was a huge dump of enthusiasm.
Amazing!
Like, wow!
Holy crap! I think I'm going to personally die, so thank you very much, guys, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to go support us over on our Patreon and over on our Ko-Fi, because wow! If I actually had the ability to just see all that text, I would have tried to see how long I could go, and it would have been funny.
Just been like,
so, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with